Welcome to Wisdom Sessions. I'm Zoe, and today we have a particularly moving episode. We'll be exploring questions about love that arrives late in life, about guilt and shame, about knowing when to hold on and when to let go. With us is a master of consciousness, someone who has spent a lifetime understanding the human heart in all its complexity. Today we have 5 deeply personal questions from our audience. Master, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Zoe. These questions about love, about timing, about the heart's struggles, they are among the most important we can explore.
Our first question today comes from Margaret in Boston, and I must say, this one truly moved me. She writes, I am almost 60 years old, a former teacher. After my divorce, I never thought I would love again. Then I met a man 5 years older. I believed he was widowed, that fate had given me one more chance at love. But the truth destroyed me. His wife is still alive, in a nursing home. His daughter came to my house shouting, calling me an immoral woman who stole her father. Now I'm devastated, ashamed, torn between my love for him and this crushing guilt. Master, when love comes late but at the wrong time, should one hold on or let go?
Margaret, listen to me carefully. No one is born to be what they call the other woman. People only find themselves in that role when they lose their way, caught between loneliness and the illusion of being truly loved. You see, you are not a thief. You are simply someone searching for warmth after a lifetime of coldness. And this man, he is not purely guilty either. He is weak, yes, but weakness is not the same as evil. He is unable to face the truth that he is still bound, yet he craves freedom. This is the human condition. Here's what happens when 2 lonely souls meet. They think it is destiny. They think the universe has conspired to bring them together. But in truth, it is only 2 empty spaces touching, and each mistakes that echo for love. The resonance feels so real, so profound, but it is the sound of emptiness meeting emptiness. The daughter who came shouting to your house, she is also in pain. She sees her mother forgotten, abandoned, and you become the target of all that accumulated grief and anger. But you are not responsible for his choices, for his inability to face his situation honestly. You are only responsible for what you do now with this awareness. This is one of the most important things to understand. Guilt is useful only if it leads to awareness. Guilt that simply crushes you, that makes you feel worthless, that is not serving any purpose. Real guilt says, I see clearly now, I will act differently. False guilt just keeps you imprisoned in shame.
That distinction between guilt that awakens and guilt that imprisons, that's profound. Our next question builds on this. This comes from David in Seattle. Master, I've noticed that when I fall in love now, in my 50s, it feels different than when I was young. It's more intense, almost desperate. I find myself clinging, afraid to lose this person. Why does late love feel so much harder to navigate?
David, you have touched upon something very important. Late love often tastes like addiction, and there is a reason for this. It is no longer innocent. It carries the flavor of fear and emptiness. When you are young, love is a discovery. You don't know what you're missing because you haven't lived long enough to feel the weight of loneliness. But when you're older, you know. You know what it means to sleep alone for years. You know what it means to have no one to share your morning coffee with. No one who asks how your day was. So when love comes, it's not just about the person. You're not truly loving them. You're loving the image of yourself being needed again after so many years of being unseen. You're loving the feeling of mattering to someone. This is why it feels desperate. Let me tell you something that may sound harsh, but it is liberating. What brings suffering is not love itself, but the illusion that love can save us from loneliness. Love born from fear only deepens fear. Love born from emptiness only widens the void. Here's how you know the difference. If you truly love, you will feel free. You will feel expansive, like your heart has more room, like the world has become bigger. But if you feel trapped, if you feel you cannot breathe without this person, if you feel you will die if they leave, that is not love, that is attachment, that is dependency. that is fear wearing love's mask. And there is nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. I'm not saying you are bad or weak. I'm simply making you aware. Once you see it clearly, once you recognize attachment for what it is, something shifts. The recognition itself begins the transformation.
That's such a powerful way to distinguish love from attachment. The feeling of freedom versus the feeling of being trapped. Our third question is from Lisa in Chicago, and it relates directly to Margaret's situation. She asks, Master, how do you let go of someone when your heart still loves them? Everyone tells me to just move on, but they don't understand. I can't simply turn off my feelings. Is there a way to leave without the bitterness and hatred?
Lisa, this is beautiful that you ask about leaving without hatred. Most people, when they leave, they carry so much poison with them. They think they've left the relationship, but they're still chained to it through their resentment. First, understand this. Letting go does not mean forgetting. Letting go does not mean erasing the person from your memory or pretending the love never existed. Letting go means accepting that some beautiful things exist only to help us grow, not to stay forever. When someone says, I can't forget him or I can't forget her, I ask them a simple question. Do you really miss this specific person, or do you miss the feeling of being loved? This distinction is crucial. Look deeply. Be honest with yourself. If you dare to look deeply, you will realize something extraordinary. The person you loved was never truly them. You loved the part of yourself that felt valued, that felt seen, that felt alive in their presence. You fell in love with your own capacity to love, your own ability to feel deeply. And once you understand this, once you really see it, a great burden lifts. You realize no one truly betrayed you. They simply acted according to their own level of awareness, their own consciousness. No one deliberately deceived you. You believed in a dream, and when that dream fades, the first one to awaken always hurts the most. This is how you leave without hatred. You recognize that everyone, including you, including them, was doing their best with the awareness they had at that moment. Maybe their best wasn't very good. Maybe your best wasn't very good. But it was what was possible then. Forgiveness happens not when you force yourself to forgive, but when you understand. Understanding is forgiveness. When you truly understand why someone did what they did, when you see their pain, their confusion, their limitations, forgiveness happens naturally, without effort.
The idea that understanding itself is forgiveness, that removes so much of the struggle from the process. This question comes from Robert in Austin. Master, I feel like I've failed at love. I'm 65, divorced twice, and now this recent relationship has also ended badly. When does love stop being a lesson and just become proof that I'm not meant for it?
Robert, you ask when love stops being a lesson. I will tell you, never. Love never stops being a lesson until you have learned to love without possession, without fear, without expectation. And very few people ever learn this completely. You say you have failed at love, but what does this mean, failed at love? Did the love not happen? Was it not real while it lasted? Did you not feel something profound, something that made you feel more alive? Here is what society has conditioned us to believe, that successful love means permanent love, love that lasts until death. But this is a very childish notion. Love is successful if it transforms you, if it teaches you something about yourself, if it opens your heart even just a little bit more. A person may fall in love many times, and each time can be complete and beautiful. But only when you can endure the pain of love without resentment, without bitterness, without closing your heart, only then does love become light instead of burden. If you must choose between having someone to lean on and having the freedom to be yourself, choose freedom. Every single time, choose freedom. Because only in freedom can you know what true love really means. Only when you are not desperate, not needy, not afraid to be alone, only then can you love purely. And let me tell you something else, Robert. At 65, you are asking these questions. You are still examining your heart. You are still willing to look at your pain. This is not failure. This is courage. Most people at 65 have closed their hearts completely. They have decided love is not for them. They have become bitter and resigned. But you are still open. You are still asking, still learning. This means your heart is still alive. And where there is life, there is possibility. Not possibility of finding the perfect partner, but possibility of becoming more loving, more understanding, more whole within yourself.
That reframing of what success in love means, not permanence, but transformation. Beautiful. Our final question today returns to Margaret's situation. This comes from her again. Master, if I decide to stay with him despite everything, despite his wife in the nursing home, despite the judgment, can I do so without shame? Or is walking away the only moral choice?
Margaret, you are asking me to tell you what is moral, what is right, but I cannot give you a rule to follow. Morality is not about following rules. It is about acting from awareness, from consciousness. Let me ask you some questions, and you must answer them honestly, not to me, but to yourself. First, are you staying because you truly love this man, or are you staying because you are afraid to be alone again? Are you staying because your heart is full, or because you cannot bear for it to be empty? Second, can you look at his wife in that nursing home, even if only in your mind, without turning away? Can you acknowledge her existence, her pain, her reality? Or must you pretend she doesn't exist in order to justify your relationship? Third, this man, does he visit his wife? Does he care for her needs? Or has he simply abandoned her because she is no longer useful to him? Because if he has abandoned her, what makes you think he will not abandon you when you become inconvenient? You see, I'm not saying staying is wrong or leaving is right. I am saying act from clarity, not from confusion. Act from love, not from fear. Act from consciousness, not from need. If you stay, and you can do so with full awareness, with compassion for everyone involved, including yourself, without deceiving yourself about what you are doing, then there is no shame. But if you stay and you must lie to yourself, must avoid certain thoughts, must hide from certain truths, then you are in hell, and you are creating hell for others. And if you leave, leave with grace. Leave with gratitude for what was beautiful. Leave with compassion for his weakness, for your own loneliness that led you here. Leave with the understanding that you are not a victim, you are not a villain. You are simply a human being who got lost for a while and is now finding her way back. Here is my final word to you, Margaret, and to everyone carrying a love that came at the wrong time. Love is not a refuge from loneliness. It is the space where we learn to face that loneliness with awareness and light. When you can be alone without being lonely, when you can be complete within yourself, then and only then are you ready for love that does not wound, love that does not bind, love that sets you free.
Master, what you've shared today about love, about freedom, about facing ourselves honestly, I believe this will help not just Margaret, but everyone who has struggled with loving at the wrong time. Before we close, Master, is there one final insight you'd like to leave with our audience today?
Yes. Remember this, you are not broken because love has brought you pain. You are not defective because relationships have ended. You are simply learning what every human being must learn, that love begins with yourself. Not selfish love, not narcissistic love, but the love that accepts your own humanity, your own mistakes, your own journey. When you can love yourself with all your flaws, all your history, all your wrong turns, then you become capable of loving another truly. Not needing them to complete you, but celebrating them because they are. This is the love worth waiting for, worth becoming.
Thank you, Master. And to everyone watching today, if these questions and insights resonated with you, please subscribe to Wisdom Sessions. Click the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. Leave a comment below about your own experiences with love and letting go. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Share this episode with someone who might need to hear these words. And most importantly, be gentle with your own heart. Until next time, I'm Zoe, reminding you that wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions.
May you find peace wherever you are on your journey.
Thank you, Master. Thank you all for being with us today.